Good morning, everyone. It's Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. So, today I have a couple of card ideas that I want to share with you that feature this month's paper pumpkin kit. So, the kit is called, let's see, All the Little Things, and it had all three different card designs in this kit. And you can create three cards, three different designs. So a total of nine cards. And basically, what I did is I created some of them, actually, three of them, kind of like the kit. I say kind of because I added my own little spin on these. But I do have some additional card ideas or card designs that I want to share with you that feature this particular kit. So these are the cards, the basic designs that were featured in the kit. So I'm going to actually start with, let's just move this out of the way here. I'm going to start with this particular design because I really loved the leaves and, the branches in this particular design. And so I modified it a bit compared to what was in the kit. So this is what it looked like in the kit. There was some calypso coral, and you put it on kind of a pinkish or calypso coral background. So I kind of changed this one up a little bit and just used the die cut piece. So this is the large die cut piece that came in the kit. And I just used that and did a little embossing on card front. So you can see I have a little bit of embossing there. And I thought it just made a beautiful sympathy card. So I did some embossing with that. But then I also created another version. Since there's three die cut shapes here to create three cards, I decided to kind of play around with the background behind this die cut. So this time I decided to use one of the coordinating envelopes from the kit. So I'm going to show you how I cut this down to put it behind this particular die cut. So basically what you can do is you can take the envelope and you can just slide it into your paper trimmer. And I start by just kind of cutting off the flap of the envelope. So just cut that off, and you can save this and use this to make another card, which I did. So I'll show you that. And then I cut this down. Let's see, just cut that side. So I cut this down to 4¼ inches is what I did. So this side is the 4¼ and then I'm just gonna cut some of this off here. I'm basically just cutting off the edges of the envelope to make it easier. So hang on a second here. So the one side was 4 inches. So now this side I want it to, or I'm sorry, 4¼ inches. Now this side I want it to be 5½. So I'm going to line it up on the 5½. And then you've just basically cut apart the envelope. And you can save that and use that if you want to. So now all I'm going to do is just take this piece from the envelope and just kind of use it like designer paper. So I'm going to adhere it directly to the card front. So I made it the exact same size as the card front. Let's see. My glue is going to be acting up. It doesn't want to come out. There we go. Okay. Well, it still doesn't want to come out very well. Must have it plugged. Well, you know what's going to happen. I'm going to keep squeezing, and then all of a sudden it's going to come pouring out. That's what's going to happen. Let's try this again. There, that's coming out a little bit better. Okay, so we'll add this piece right to the card front. And if you use liquid glue, you can kind of scoot this around to make sure it's on your card front evenly. And then I just took this die cut shape and put it right over the top. So I thought with the blue kind of showing through that it just made a really beautiful background for this particular die cut that came in the kit. So if you have the kit, definitely give this a try. Just cut apart one of the envelopes and use that as a background. Or you can, if you have designer paper that is, solid like this, that has kind of that watercolor marking, then you can use that instead of cutting apart your envelope. But I just kind of thought the envelope um, made a cool background. So we'll add that. And then I just took one of the greetings and one of the little label tags from the set, and I'm just going to add it to the card front. So good morning, everybody. I know I kind of started a little bit early. I've been kind of feeling a little bit under the weather lately, so I haven't been doing much. Had to have some oral surgery, so that was not fun. So I'm still recovering. So if I talk a little funny, that's why. All right. So that is what the card looks like. So those are the three cards from the kit. So one has kind of an embossed background, and then one has that designer paper or that envelope in the background. So they made just really pretty cards. All right. So then the next thing I wanted to share, there is this very large floral that it came in the kit. And this is the design, or close to the design, that was in the particular kit. So what I decided to do is take this very large floral, and I decided to cut it apart, because if you cut it apart, then you can make more cards. So what I did is I just started kind of in the middle here, and I'm just going to go down a little bit here by this flower. So you can just cut around this flower. Oop. I say that like you can just cut around this flower. All right, so we can just cut this apart and then just kind of take your scissors and just straighten it out a little bit, because obviously where you cut it apart, it's going to be a little bit jagged. So just kind of straighten it out the best you can to create one set of florals there. And then this one over here, we can kind of do the same. We can just straighten this out a little bit where we were cutting. We'll cut this side. So it doesn't require too much cutting to straighten them out, but now you have two pieces that you can use to create two different cards. So the first card that I want to show you is this particular card. It is just a very simple design. I actually used the layering stylish shapes dies. So each of these dies in the stylish shapes set, they layer together. So I used the two larger squares here. And basically what I did is I started with a 4 by 5¼ inch piece of white cardstock. And then I used the largest die and created a little window in the card. So that's how I did that. And then I saved that little piece, that little square piece from the center to create a second card. And then I just cut, I actually just took a scrap piece of Calypso Coral cardstock. So I'm not even sure what size this is. Let me see. It's about 3.5 by 4. And then I took the smaller square shape and cut that out of the center of this piece. So basically, like I said, these two die cut pieces layer together. So what you get is a nice little framed out design that you can use, with this floral or with uh, any die cut shape that you have. Oops, I got too many things under here. So before I adhere this, I'm actually going to stamp a greeting on here. So let's do that. So the first one I made as a sympathy card, but this one I'm going to make as a celebrate today. So I'm just using shaded spruce ink. So that's the ink spot that came in this particular kit. But you can use, any of the colors, Calypso, whatever you want. So we'll stamp that on there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to glue these two together. So I'm going to add some glue right here. Maybe. There we go. So add some glue, and then we'll lay this right in the center. I'll flip this over. And because I'm using liquid glue, I can kind of scoot this around to get it even. But that's it. Look at how pretty that is. You can take any color and create a fun little frame when you have some layering dies that work together. So now I'll just add this. And I'm using Petal Pink for the base of the card. Oop. There we go. So I'll give that a chance to set up. I feel okay, guys. Thank you. I just didn't want you to think that I was slurring my words because I feel like I'm a little swollen yet, but it's all good. I'm okay. So now this piece is just gonna slide right under here. So I'm gonna add a couple dimensionals. And then we'll just slide that right underneath there. And we'll kind of angle it. So that's really it. That's a pretty simple card to do with any die cut shape. So take a look at the supplies you have. If you don't have the paper pumpkin kit, like I said, you can create this fun little design and use it with anything that you have on hand. All right, so that is the second card. And then the other thing I did with the rest of the floral is I used up the square piece from, cutting this out. And then I used this other floral over here. So I'm going to show you that. And there is a little image in this particular stamp set from the kit. There's this little image right here that we're going to use to create some little foliage for the card. So I'll do that. I think I might only need one, but we'll stamp two just in case. So what I did is you can stamp this in the background on your square shape, but I decided I wanted a little bit more depth and dimension. So I just stamped this on a scrap piece of paper, and then I just kind of cut around it. So I know I've given you guys this tip before, but you just kind of cut around the image, and it doesn't have to be perfect, especially because we are going to be adhering this little foliage piece to a piece of white cardstock, so you won't notice if there's uneven cuts, like if this piece is uneven, which it's going to be because I'm not perfect with cutting, but you just want to cut around. And if you leave a little bit of white space around there, you won't notice any jagged edges, I guess is the best way to describe it. So we'll do this. We'll see how this turns out. Okay, so what I did is I used one of the card bases from the kit. So this is actually the card base that went with um, this. So obviously I didn't use this card base with the branches, so I decided to use it here. So what I did is just used up a couple scraps here. So I have a 1 by 3 1/4 inch piece of Calypso, and then I have the leftover square from creating that previous card, from creating that frame. So I'm just going to add this right to the card front. Now the glue's working better. That's good. So I just wanted to bring out a little bit more of that Calypso color. And then here's that second piece, that second floral from the kit. So I'm just going to add this. We'll just add this here. And then this little piece, we're going to tuck in over here. So that'll get tucked there. And then this piece is actually from the kit, this little banner type piece for the greeting. But I didn't have any more. So I wanted to show you that you could change it up a little bit. So I think we only need one. So I'm going to add this first, or at least lay it there maybe. So let's see, if I put that there, we should be able to tuck that in there. Okay. So I like to lay out my design. I had no idea if this was going to work or not, but I thought I'd try it. So I just used, a little circle shape to create the greetings, since I didn't have any more of these stitched things from the kit. And then we'll just tuck our flowers in there. And then we'll just tuck this little foliage piece, get it in right there. So cute. So 2 different designs. So if you run out of these, just take a circle shape and stamp your greeting kind of towards the top of the circle, and then slice off the bottom of the circle. And then you'll get that half circle that you can use for your card making here. And then we'll just add a couple of our little gems. So these are the little gems that came in the kit. And you can use them up, or if you don't have the kit and you're using this design, use whatever gems you have on hand. So again, this is a very simple design, and it'll work with any kind of focal point. So you can put anything in the center here. You don't have to have the kit supplies to do that. So, all right. So now I was able to get 2 cards out of that one large floral. So if you haven't used your kit yet, if you haven't got your kit yet or put your kit together yet, and you like these 2 designs, just remember you can cut this floral apart and create 2 different cards. So it was kind of fun. All right, so let me show you all of the cards. So these are the ones that I just created. There's that other one. Here's the blue one. There's 2 of the leaves. And these are some of the other cards that I put together. So I do have to say that this kit it's very pretty, but it was a little bit challenging to try to come up with some alternate ideas, I guess, because I don't know why. Maybe I just couldn't think properly, but it seemed like a little bit of a challenge. But here's some other cards that I came up with. So let's see if I can come back on screen. There we go. So there were some die cut shapes in the kit that I think they were supposed to be used with this card, but I thought that this one large die cut was enough. So I didn't put this other die cut on there. I saved it to create some additional cards. So for those of you that get the kit, you're going to get this very large floral, and you're going to get a coordinating smaller floral. So I just use those smaller florals to create some additional cards. So that's what I have here. I created that one. And all these little pieces came from the kit. So let's see if I can get these up here. So those all came from the kit. And what did I do with it? Oh, here's the other one. And then I used that leftover envelope piece to create this particular card. So remember when I cut apart that envelope, this is the top part of the envelope here. So I just adhered that piece so it was pointing down. I adhered it to a piece of white cardstock. So this is 4 by 5 1/4. And I just trimmed down the edges. So it kind of made a fun little design there. So you can do that with the envelope. And then these particular cards, so this was the kit card. This is what the kit card looked like. And then I took that design and I just kind of carried it over into these other two card bases. So there were like 3 different styles of card bases in this kit. So I just, created sympathy cards, celebration cards, all kinds of cards with that particular large floral. So, like I said, it was a little bit challenging to try to come up with different designs. This was a really cute little, uh, it was a cute little stamp set, but not a whole lot of images in there that I could use, um, to, I guess in my mind, to create a big card. There's lots of little cute florals and things you can use to embellish, but there, wasn't a large focal point like this that I could use. So, anyways, but I did have fun with the kit. I thought it was really a pretty kit. There are a few things that you can do with it. So I will post these cards up on my blog later today, and you'll be able to take a look at those and get all the measurements for those. And I also will have a tutorial by the end of this month. So I partner with 11 other demonstrators, and we put together a tutorial for you for Paper Pumpkin subscribers every month. So I'll have that tutorial probably by the beginning of May. So if you are one of my subscribers, you might want to hang on to your kit and see all the fabulous projects that'll be in that tutorial. So I did link to just an example of the tutorial from last month. And I also linked to Paper Pumpkin. So if you're not a subscriber, I highly recommend it. It is a fun little kit each month, and I like to create just some alternate projects to give you other ideas. So, all right, you guys. So I hope you enjoyed these card ideas, and I hope you could understand me the best. I tried to talk the best I could. So hopefully you could understand me. If you have any questions, leave comments. I will get to those comments later today. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday and a great rest of your week. So take care, everybody.